the amount of material going directly to landfill was not sustainable going forward into the future, and we needed to come up with a situation where we could deal with that, also provide green certified natural gas back into the economy.
We're here at Biocore's anaerobic digestion plant just outside Balladreen, County. The plant itself is a 1 megawatt electrical AD plant, so we produce 1 megawatt of electricity that's enough to power about 2,000 Irish homes. We're permitted to take in 20,000 tonnes of waste material that would otherwise go to landfill, recover the energy to produce renewable electricity, while also producing organic fertiliser which can substitute out inorganic fertiliser on farms.
Basically, there's two forms that our waste comes in. It's either solid form or liquid form. The solid form is fed into our solid feed system, which is, we call it here the hunning, which basically has a moving floor, which basically moves all the solids over to a screw conveyor, and then that's then fed forward to the two digesters. In each tank, there's around about, say, 2,300 tonne of bacteria. They break down the waste that comes in here under anaerobic conditions, and as part of that process, they release methane gas. We then capture the methane gas to generate electricity through our two CHPs. Each unit can produce 500 kilowatts of power. So from one of the engines, we use it to heat up the two fermenters, kind of ranging between 37 and 39 degrees, which is where the bacteria are happiest at. The other CHP, we're using that heat to dry the digestate. And then at the end of the process, we then pasteurize it here on site. It goes into after storage. And then from the after storage, then basically we generate nutrient management plants. And basically it's then spread on the farms in liquid form at the moment.
It's a super form of fertiliser. It's more potent and you get a more firmer, more fibrous stem, tend to have more protein. I'll be in contact with the farmer. He might like biosolids, liquid digestate, or he might like dry digestate. Either or, whatever suits his farming type, he can take his pick, he or she. I will then visit that farmer. I will go out then and I will map the areas of land or plots that he wants to have spread. And as I'm going across that field, I'm finding there might be an end of the field that's in peat, that doesn't really suit, that's a different soil type. We'll account for that. We might have to avoid that. We create a nutrient management plan, regardless, whatever it is. It's then used in LESS equipment, which is low emission slurry spreading equipment. That would include disc injector, trail and shoe, and dribble bar. So it's all contained, there's no runoff, and in terms of emissions of ammonia and other harmful gases as well, they're contained and all the nutrients are combined and they're used in the ground or the crop typed. So when these nutrients have been applied, they're only applied exactly where they're required to the GPS requirements of where the soil samples came from. So the farmers get no more, no less than what he needs, and he's also protecting his natural resources on his farm as well, waterways and everything else. So we're delighted. It's helping the local economy, it's helping the national economy, and it's helping the farmer's pocket on a whole, and helping the environment too, so we're very happy.
Some of the main misconceptions people would have is that there's odour from the plants and that they're noisy, but everything that happens in an AD process is sealed, whether it's the feedstock intake or whether it's the digestion itself. And from a noise perspective, the only things that really run are pumps and the engines themselves that we have are contained within special acoustic containers to minimise that noise. So the future, I suppose, of anaerobic digestion in Ireland will be upgrading the gas to biomethane and substituting that for natural gas, and even using it to replace fossil fuel use there.
Biocore into the future will turn itself almost exclusively into a renewable energy company. This would be a huge benefit to the Irish economy, as we could be leading up to about 5 to 8% of the total gas requirements for the country being supplied by our anaerobic digestion industry. We are taking quite an amount of carbon out of the agricultural side and the domestic side, and indeed the industrial side. Carbon footprint for Biocore Environmental would be hugely negative.